Okay, guys, I thought I'd start with a video of how to get some of your assets so that you can start building your game from there. So first thing I'm going to say is the way you get your assets is from online store, the Unity asset store, just here. And obviously you can select some of the categories. Obviously we're doing a 2D game, so you're going to click 2D, and then you can click free, and it has a whole bunch of free assets here. Now, if you make sure you log in using your Unity account here, and then you make sure that in Unity in the game that you've made, you're also logged in. And then when you click on an asset, as such, you just go add to my assets. You'll accept the terms and conditions. And if you haven't logged in, it will prompt you now to log in. And if you are logged in, it'll do this and say added to my assets, just like this. Now, if you go into Unity, now you might not have this package manager window, and we're just going to close it just to pretend like you don't have it. You can go Windows up here, and one of them is called Package Manager, and that'll open this little draggable package manager, and I recommend you just drag it next to the inspector, just like that. And this will be, mine's obviously quite large. Yours might look like this or something like default, something like this, or it might be look like this. Now you need to make sure you're on your home internet, not at the school internet. The school internet will block access to this. We're trying to work on that at the moment, but it's still currently being blocked. Now, if you click down here and you go into My Assets, this will be all the online assets that you've selected, and we obviously picked what did we pick? We picked 2D trees. So if we come across here up to 2D, you can see we might have to refresh it. Let's just refresh the list. There we go. 2D trees appear, and then you just click this little download button, and it'll download it, and then you click import, pardon me, and then it'll import all the assets. It'll be this little thing, you click import, and it'll create a little folder on your here, which is called the name of like the asset. And it's not always called 2D Trace, it might be called something else. Sometimes they're called like the company or something like that, but so I recommend making this online assets folder just like this. I shouldn't have dragged that into here. That way it's more organized, because you might end up with a lot. And so you do this at home. You have to do this at home, not at school, unfortunately, because the school internet, as I said, blocks this component of Unity, unfortunately. And then you will just download them all that way. And then once you've actually added them to your assets once, you don't have to do the Unity store. So if you make another game later on and you want to use the same asset pack, they'll all appear here. Now, the last one that I really recommend you doing is going into Unity registered assets, and you'll have a whole bunch of these like Unity made. And there's one really amazing one called Cinema Machine, just here, and I really recommend you install that. This will say install rather than download, you'll notice. And once it's finishing installing, a new tab up here will appear. You'll see. It'll take a time, bear with me. As you see, the tabs just appeared there, and now we have this Sin machine all added. Now, once that's done, you can go back to your inspector and you can just shorten the window back out if you'd like, or you could fully close the tab. It's up to you. And that's basically how you get your packages. And once that's done, obviously you'll see in here I have all my packages, and inside them all the assets that came with them. Like so. Yeah, so that's how you get your packages. If it was an asset of your own personal making, so I might call it personal assets. So if you made something, an image from Photoshop, or you made it just yourself in Paint or something like that, you just grab the image. So, and you literally can just drag it, and there we have our asset. And we can drag the head, and we have our asset. One thing I would say is that if you are downloading an image or drawing an image in Paint, to take it into Photoshop, and then make its outline invisible, so that you can see how the wolf doesn't have a white background. It has an empty background. And same with the head. It has an empty background that's checkered, meaning that space is empty. Now, if you were to just grab a picture off the internet and drag it in like that, you'll see that by default it has this white background, and that's really easy to fix with Photoshop. We might even do it now. Just give me a second to let my computer open. So obviously, this is Photoshop. If you just go new, it doesn't. None of this kind of stuff really matters. Just click create, because once you go file open, and you select where is it? The file that you want, it'll automatically just create the canvas the size of the file you want anyway. So all that, just open a new Photoshop file, then go file open and open the image that you want to edit. Just left click on that symbol to get rid of the lock. And then yours might look like this or something like that. Just right click here and change it to the magic wand. Change it to the magic wand. The tolerance of about 35 should be fine. Tolerances are basically how strict it is on the colors. So the magic wand works by you click it and it selects all of that color that's like connected. So like if it's not connected, so the white here is blocked by the black and the beige outer line, so it won't select that, but any collected, and the tolerance is how tolerant it is at going through different shades. So if you make it super intolerant, like 100%, it'll just go through all colors, but like maybe they're like shades of gray that you kind of want to select, you can play around with that. But 35 should get all the white for us, and then if you click delete, you'll see it'll become this checkered background now, and that's all kind of done. And then you can click over here, right click on it now, and you can go export as, and that'll let you kind of take that and now save it as an image. And if you just click export, it'll ask you for a location, and we'll go Spag Monster and save it. And now if you see inside here, we have a Spag Monster just here that has an empty background now. And so now if we drag that into Unity, you can now see that it has this empty background. And I kind of maybe it's self-explanatory, but if you had that white square, as it would move around, it would have that white square rather than the background of your actual game. So that's just really quickly something to think about if you're dragging assets from online that aren't a proper Unity-made asset, like maybe you found a picture of something you like. Yeah. Well, that's it for me. So hopefully if you watch the previous video on how to install Unity and this one on how to install assets, you're ready to actually start making a game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next educational